The official release of the Oculus Quest is just around the corner, and you're going to need some games to break your new system in. So here are my top 5 games you need to try out on launch day. Quick disclaimer. These are only games that I have personally played, or else I wouldn't wholeheartedly be able to recommend them. There are no spoilers here, just some gameplay and what the game is about. There will be an honorable mentions list at the end for titles that are releasing on Quest launch day. These are also just a small list of games to help you get on the right track, since I'm sure buying 30 or so VR titles on day 1 is out of most people's reach. So to start off, number 5, Beat Saber. A rhythm-based game that uses lightsabers to hit notes. The game speaks for itself. There are some pretty great tracks in the base version of the game, and it's a pretty visual stunning game for what it is. This is one that you could easily sink quite a few hours in, especially if modders later add support to sideload custom tracks on the Quest version of Beat Saber. You can already do that with the Steam version of the game, but I wouldn't count on that feature for the Quest right away. Number 4, Orbis VR. Orbis is one of the only full VR MMORPGs. Everything from quests, a giant open world with tons of environments, pets, dungeons, 10-player raids, a player market, guilds, you name it. It's a fully functioning MMO, but it's in VR. This one does have a bit of a learning curve as it doesn't tell you what to do right off the bat, but that's kind of part of the appeal for me at least. The community is awesome, and from my experience is always willing to help new players learn the ropes. The visual style isn't for everybody, but I guarantee as soon as you get your headset on and get in the world, you'll be immersed, fighting for the next level, and working out quests, helping out friends in dungeons, fight the best loot, and slay the highest level mobs. Number 3, VR Chat / Rec Room. Okay, so I've spent the majority of my time in VR either in VR Chat or Rec Room. I put them together because I know that VR Chat may not be for everyone, unless you like deep voices and big anime but both are really amazing social landscapes in VR, and I've met countless friends in both of them. In VR Chat, I spent hours at night jumping from world to world just talking to people about literally anything. Sometimes I'll sit in a bar and play beer pong, and other times I'll play something like Never Have I Ever with a group of strangers. You really can have some unique experiences if you open up a little, not to mention the insane amount of customization available. You can literally be anything from any franchise you imagine if you work for it. Rec Room is another social app, but centers more around playing small games with people rather than the bar-like social atmosphere of VR Chat. Both games offer nearly limitless creative tools to the players, so there really isn't much you can't do. There are games to play in VR Chat that people have created, but I usually stick to Rec Room if I'm in the mood for some small games. Number 2, Robo Recall. Of course, I couldn't have a list of Oculus exclusive games without mentioning Robo Recall. It's one of the most polished VR games that we have to date, both in terms of visuals and gameplay. There really isn't much in terms of a super coherent story, but the quality of the shooter gameplay more than makes up for it. In short, you are caught in the middle of an AI robot uprising, and you go on missions to recall the robots, shooting your way through towns, grabbing bots, and tearing the metal limbs off. The combat can feel pretty rewarding, and it's a game that I still come back to every now and then, even after I finished it.
Agent 34.
Number 1.
Super hot.
Okay, so I say Super Hot is number 1, not because it has the best shooting mechanics, it's the prettiest, and it certainly isn't the most social game in online terms, but because the game works so well in a VR environment, especially with the Quest being a wireless untethered headset. If you haven't heard of Super Hot, it's a game that has a super awesome mechanic where time only moves when you move. So you can do awesome things like dodge bullets, hit an enemy's gun up in the air and shoot all of his buddies, and then watch them react in slow motion with an awesome shattering glass effect. This is a game that I can certainly recommend as a must-have for Quest owners. Even if you decide not to pick up any of the others, this is one that you need to get. Even though this game was not initially built for VR, it certainly stands up as one of the best VR games I've played for a standalone experience.
Super hot.
Okay, so here's some games that I either can't recommend because they're not out yet, so I haven't played. I will likely make a video post-launch of the Quest, either updating this list or going over some of the best games that are dropping with the Quest. Star Wars Vader Immortal is looking to be one of the better Star Wars experiences that we've seen in the past few years. It looks great, seems like it has an interesting story, and for Pete's sake, lightsabers in VR? Yes please. My only concern is how much will be charged per episode of Vader Immortal, since it has been said that the game will be released episodically in bite-sized portions.
Dead?
Journey of the Gods. This is a Legend of Zelda-esque RPG game, and it seems like there's some pretty fun combat, as well as a visually appealing and simple art style. Okay, well I can certainly say that I know I left quite a few games off the list that probably deserve to be up there, but I don't think a list of 30 or 40 games and experiences really does much good, so I compiled a list of some of the games that I've enjoyed the most, and that have good value most importantly. Do you have any games that you're particularly excited about that aren't on the list? Let me know which ones. Well, thanks for the watch everyone, and don't forget to subscribe and like. Always coming out with new content, so don't miss it, hit that bell. I may be starting up a Discord server soon, I'm not sure yet, but keep looking out for that. Once again, thank you guys, and I hope you all have a great week.